Hello, this is Phil Ash, president of Investing Daily, and I am excited to share with you my 2023 review of my personal portfolio using Jim Fink's Options for Income system. Now, I've used Options for Income for various multi-year stretches going back to inception of the system back in 2011, but I pulled my money out at various points along the way to do things like buy vacation houses, which I know is a difficult problem to have, but such is life when you make money with this system. So I recently got back into using options for income 13 months ago, back in January 2023. At that point, I deposited $10,000 into a portfolio, and I then deposited another $10,000 into the portfolio in May of 2023 after I had deployed the first 10,000 into a full portfolio of Jim's recommendations. As it turned out, I only really needed to use $2,000 of that second $10,000 deposit. So I am using $12,000 as the denominator in my return calculations. So let's take a look at my Tasty Trade account. You can see that the value is $26,000, $26,300 roughly. And again, I put $20,000 into this. So I have $6,300, $6,400 of profit in here, divided by $12,000 of capital that was really in play, works out to about a 53% overall return over that 13-month period. Now you can see that year to date, I have about $1,000 of profit. So if I was to deduct that from my overall profitability, I had maybe, we'll say I had about a 48% or so return for the trailing 12-month period, or rather the 12-month period from January to January. So I've gone from high 40% returns in January to low 50% returns in February. That's pretty typical that the returns kind of go up on a consistent basis. And we can see here I have this portfolio sorted right now on days till expire. So these are all my trades coming due in the next few days. And as you can see, all of them are in a profitable position. Now, this is not always the case. There's oftentimes ones that have to be rolled, but this happens to be a good month. I won't complain about that. So let's go and take a look at how my $12,000 of capital was deployed. So each of Jim's recommendations is a $5 spread typically, which means you're putting $500 at risk. However, a typical cash credit received is $125. So $500 at risk minus $125 of cash received equals $375 of capital needed per trade. I had $12,000 of capital available, divided by $375 per trade, meant that I was able to make 32 trades with that capital. Jim recommends 2 trades per week, so 32 divided by 2 is 16 weeks of trades that I was able to make, and that coincidentally lines up with a rough holding period of about 16 weeks for most of Jim's trades, including the ones that do get rolled. So $12,000 allowed me to get 16 weeks worth of trades in my portfolio, at which point some of those trades started expiring worthless, and I was able to redeploy that capital into new trades. And this has been a great start. I was selling one contract on each recommendation, but now that I'm sitting on $6,500 of profits, I've started buying or selling 2 contracts per trade. Hopefully you have had similar results. If so, that's great. If not, let's discuss why. First of all, caveat being that I am not an investing expert. I follow Jim's recommendations to the letter, just as you do or should do. I do not get into every trade. Maybe I make 85% of the trades. I find that I'm just busy or on vacation, whatever the case may be, and I don't necessarily make every trade. Another challenge that I have that you may have experienced is I don't make the rolls in a timely manner on some weeks. Maybe I miss by a day or two, and I don't get as good of an entry point as Jim and some others do. It's okay, but you do want to make every roll. The other thing that happens is, and you've surely experienced this, is I do get assigned early sometimes. That's fine. It's a little bit of hassle. Just follow Jim's advice on how to make the substitute trade until Jim gives you follow on advice on how to stay in that trade. So if you're not getting the same results that I have over the past year, there may be a few things that you could improve upon. Now, one thing is do not sell more contracts than you can afford to do. If you have $15,000 or less of capital available, only buy one contract or sell one contract per trade, and do not make more trades than you have capital available. You may find that you can only afford to make one trade per week, or you can only make all of the trades for the first 2 months, and you then need to sit tight until some of that capital is freed up. Just make sure that you have capital available to do the rolls, because that's the second important thing that you may not be doing if you're not seeing similar results. You need to do the rolls. That is the cornerstone of Jim's system. So do not forget that part. And then lastly, if you don't feel confident that you know what you're doing, please take our Options for Income training with Jim's assistant analyst, Derek, by simply going to the More menu on Options for Income, the New Members section, and then scrolling down to the third bullet point here for the free 6-session options training course. Click on this link here and sign up for Derek's 6-session free training. It gets great reviews. It will give you the confidence you need to make the trades successfully. The system works. Be sure to stick with it. You will be happy you did. I certainly have had great success with it over the years and want to see the same results for you. Thank you and have a great day.